part of growing your six-figure business is rebranding. And today, I'm gonna walk you through the process of turning show art that's, it's a little cheesy, into something that is awesome and eye-popping. This is the exact process. I'm gonna walk you through all the steps to updating the show art for my globally ranked podcast, After Hours Entrepreneur. Globally ranked in the top 1%, by the way. Thank you for listening. So I'm gonna walk you through the steps that I took to adjust, adapt, and evolve my show art to something super professional so that you can go out and do the same thing for your logo and your show art. Let's go. Let's get into it. Okay, cool. So starting off here, this is a quick piece of show art that I had created for the show about little over 2 years ago. And, it's fine. It's great. It's cool. But listen, it was time for a change. It was time to update. It was time to upgrade. So this is what we ended up with, which I think is clean. It's great. It evokes some great messaging. The imagery is great. The balance is on point. So let me walk you through how we got here. All right. So the first step was I put together a comprehensive background as to what I wanted and sent it over to my editor. So I'm just going to read through what I wrote here. I'm rebranding my podcast After Hours Entrepreneur. The theme of the show is helping entrepreneurs reach their first six-figure a year. It's you. We focus on telling stories that entrepreneurs can apply to their own lives and businesses. Central themes are taking action, generating income, leaving the day job, building momentum, and doing hard work. I'd like simple yet powerful imagery that tells the story of the show with images. Certain things that come to mind are the moon, money, podcast mic, clock. You may use some or none. I'm open to your artistic vision. Side note, stepping back here, anytime you're working with a creator or designer, I think it's really important to give them the reins. Oftentimes, as business owners, entrepreneurs, we have a vision and we just want to control every step of the creative process. You need to have an input. Let's face it, you need to have input. However, you don't want to overwhelm. You don't want to totally control that creative process. You got to leave some creative licensing. So I said here, listen, I'll give you $55, great price, but I'm happy to increase the cost for more effort. I've been podcasting about 4 years. I'm serious about the show art, et cetera, et cetera. And I attached brand colors, images, et cetera, et cetera. So these were the brand colors that we started with. These were a couple images because I really wanted myself to be in the show art. Although, as you can see, I ended up not being in the show art, and I'll explain why in a moment. The primary colors for my brand are blue and yellow. I really wanted to stay on that point. But again, things evolve, baby. Things change. So let's keep moving. So here was the first set of drafts. Just my creators trying to get a feel for how we wanted to structure this thing out. But I was like, listen, this is just too basic. It's hard for me to even see where this thing is going. Give me something that's a little bit more fleshed out. There were things that I liked in this. Like I like the O and how there's a moon and a clock in there. Again, listening to what I said, he kind of put me in here. Just trying to find the format, but it was just too basic. I couldn't get much from this first draft. In draft 2, we added in colors. We're getting closer to a more finished type of look here, right? You can start to see like the logo and the colors and how they stand out, but it just still wasn't working for me. It just didn't have that professional, clean look to me. It looked a little bit cheesy. Also the blue and the yellow, I wasn't really digging it. So I went into something that I think is a great place to start. And that's looking at other big brands, other big shows that are in your niche. What are they doing? Try to get some inspiration. And so I went out and I found some of the logos that I liked the best. I sent them to my designer, and this is what he came back with. Shrink this down just a little bit here. Came back with these 4 pieces of show art, and I was like, okay, now we're on the right track. Now I'm seeing something professional. The problem I had was that I like all of these designs. All these designs look super hot to me. And so I said, why don't I go and get feedback? And I think this was a really important part of my process because for a few reasons. So what I did here was I took all these examples And I posted them all over the internet, LinkedIn, Reddit, into some of the mastermind groups I'm in, Facebook, all over the place, to get feedback, to run polls, to see what do you like. And overwhelmingly, people liked Artboard 6 here. And Artboard 8. Overwhelmingly, they liked Artboard 6 and Artboard 8. So I ran with that. The problem I had here, I'm just going to notate when it comes to show art specifically, but this is also relevant to logos, is I'm not a huge fan of cursive. Cursive can be difficult to read. Yeah, that's it. It can be difficult to read. So you definitely need to be careful with using cursive with your design. Additionally, cursive can lead to challenges in the digital realm that you might not necessarily face in the print realm. So I try to avoid cursive. So this is what my designer came back with. Kind of cleaned this up, added the word podcast because this is specifically for a podcast. I want people to see and understand that. And then I really kind of dug this design. He kind of took the most popular. So these were the 2 most popular designs by feedback. And what he did was he took Artboard 8. We swapped out the cursive for this bolded print. We also took away the word "the" to kind of clean it up and just make it look a little bit neater, a little bit cleaner. The problem that I had here was the colors were just not vibing for me. This show is the after hours entrepreneur. Blue and yellow from a design standpoint. Blue is about being cool, being calm. Yellow is about excitement, and it just didn't really gel with the theme of the show. That said, I said, hey, let's continue to flesh this out. And, I said, hey, what if we add me? Because I really like these cartoon designs, by the way. These cartoon designs are a great way to stand out. The problem was it just wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't doing it for me. The other problem here is that, again, this is for show art specifically, but it also applies to branding and logos. You want your logo to be legible. This might be legible on a big screen computer, but if I'm finding it on Spotify, if I'm finding this logo on a small screen, like on my phone, you might not be able to read this, and that's a big problem. Your words need to be legible on small screens. So keep that in mind when you're going through your process. So I decided that I'm going with Artboard 11, Artboard 14. That's my jam. That's where I want to be. But again, the blue and the yellow just really didn't fit out for me. So I said, why don't we try black and yellow? That was the theme for the show originally. And I was really happy with the result. This is why we try different things, baby. This is why we try different things. And I really loved the way that the black and the yellow turned out. I didn't like the word podcast. I wanted to get the word podcast in here in the show art, but it just didn't. It just seemed more like an afterthought than part of the actual design. I wanted to add a microphone, but adding it to the background just seemed distracting. It kind of, I felt, pulled away from the simplicity and the beauty of the image itself. I also just wasn't a huge fan of these smaller letters. It just also, again, kind of felt like it was taking things out of, it wasn't using negative space the way I really wanted to use it. You can see right here, there's a wide negative space, whereas here, these 3 areas are smaller. So we ended up landing on this design here in our final draft. So what we did is we just kind of slightly pushed the top side over just to the left, just slightly. And we ended up with this beautiful, beautiful piece of show art. It evokes a powerful emotion. One of the things I love is that this circle here in the back makes it feels like the moon. It feels like the after hours entrepreneurs in front of a moon. It also gives this kind of neon sign type of feel, which I think is pretty cool. And it's very simple. It's very legible. When you see this, you immediately are able to read it. You immediately kind of understand what the show is going to be about. Super, super powerful. The other thing I like about this is you could easily put this on a shirt. It's going to evoke curiosity. You could put this on backgrounds, on business cards. So I'm just really thrilled with the way that the show art turned out. So thanks for watching this video here today. And I hope you're walking away with some tips, some tidbits. Overall, this process, we went through about 7 drafts to get to our final image. And, it might take you more, might take you less, but be open. Let your designer get some creative license with this thing. If you're having trouble, if you're really struggling, hit me up. I'm happy to help you. That's what we do here at Mark Savant Media. We help you really build out a show that is going to reach the target audience. It's going to build sales. It's going to build status. And again, I just love the way this show art turned out. I don't know what else to say. I love it. Leave your thoughts below. What do you think? Do you like this show art? Do you think it could have been better? What's missing? Let me know. In the meantime, go out, take action, and build your 6-figure business, baby. Catch you next time. Peace.